Hello, everybody. Welcome back to WWTF World Facts the Game Show. I'm MikeC.
And I am Fred Watt.
Fred, what time is it?
It's time for some more of Amazon DSP Secrets Unleashed. Now, here we'll be talking about my experiences working for an Amazon DSP, and I was working for the Amazon DSP that was out of Waldorf, Maryland. All right.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to be bringing y'all stories about a lot of people that work inside there. And first, let me all start off by saying that I didn't have any problems with, these are the people that I didn't have any problems with, so I don't have any horror stories about them. One was the owner, Tiffany. One was one of the dispatchers, and his name was Walter, and another dispatcher, her name was Nicole. Congratulations on your kid. And then one that turned was Jess, and Jess and the other dude was the ones that the reason why I quit. Jess and Ronald was the reason why I quit. All right. So, I'm be telling stories about the people that I did have problems with, and I can line up some names. One was Darius. Oh, they love to kiss Darius' ass. The other dude, the employee of the month with the beard, the skinny cat that don't drive, that always bumming rides from people. Him. Philip, which is a DSP trainer. I don't know the guy's name, but I call him Belts because he looks like one of them them old pictures of the guys that you saw like in the 60s. They wore their pants all the way up to their belly button titty nipples. He's that type of dude. And Martin, the dispatch Martin, this jack, he don't listen worth nothing, man. Dan, I'm not gonna say too much about Danielle because I don't know why she had a problem with me. I never had a problem with her, but those are some of the stories I'm gonna be telling. All right, so let's jump right into it. Before we and I'm going to keep these separated because I want y'all to come back, and I know people from that company is watching this. So if you get offended by what I'm saying, you know what I mean? But look, so let's start off how you get inside of this Amazon DSP. Now, first, you find this DSP job on Indeed, right? And I was actually interviewed twice by Walter. He probably don't remember, but I was interviewed twice by Walter, right? The first time I was interviewed, they took the names and all that other stuff, and they was like, do y'all want to be part-time or full-time? And remember when I'm saying, as these stories continue, remember what I'm saying beforehand. Full-time is 4 days a week, supposedly at 10 hours, okay? Part-time is 3 days a week, supposedly at 30 hours, right? And I put those up in air quotes real bad. So when I interviewed the first time, I didn't get a call back, right? Because when we left, he was like, well, we'll give y'all a call and this, that, and the third. And I'm like, how the hell is he going to give us a call when he didn't take down none of the information? So how is he going to call us back? So then the second time I actually wrote down my name and all the other stuff, and then I got a call back to take the drug test or whatever. And then when I came back, before we left, they was asking us, what did you want to do? Do you want to work full-time or part-time? And then that's when you chose. And then you went to go take your piss test, and then you went to go take your class. And right then I noticed that the classrooms are always full, because the first time when I came to do an orientation or interview, I was like, why are these classrooms always full? They're always full. You know why? Because Amazon is 150 turnover rate. Now, don't be confused with some of the dummies that work inside of the warehouse, right? I've never had a problem with any of the guys that work inside of the Amazon warehouse in Waldorf, Maryland. It was always the females. And we will get into stories about that too. But once you pass your class and all this other stuff, and they try to teach you how to drive, which is ridiculous, right? I'll tell you one incident. When it's an African dude that worked there, right? When he put you in the what do they call, the EDV vans, he'll tell you when you're backing up, don't look at the camera. Say what? That's a tool, a part of the job. You cannot see out of the rear view. You can't see out of the back of the cameras. I mean, the back of the trucks, because the truck is covered. You know, it's plated, so you can't see out there. So why would they tell you not to look at the screen when you're backing up? And this is something that this guy, I mean, it's just weird. You know what I'm saying? And once you pass all your courses and all that other stuff, then you go downstairs, because I think for the first week you're upstairs in the training room, then you go downstairs in this other part of the Amazon warehouse. But before you even do that, you go downstairs and you help people load their trucks, right? So you can kind of get a gist of what's going on. And then please pay attention when you're helping loading people trucks. You start hearing conversations. You start hearing a lot of conversations. And a lot of that stuff is what I'm going to be talking about in these episodic episodes. But this is just a prequel. The first one that we did, and now the second one. And then after the third one we're going to just jump into it. It's going to be random stuff, but we're going to jump into it, man. And all these people names that I've mentioned, we're going to talk about, because I have a story for each and every one of them, plus people that work in the warehouse. So after you're in your class and they teach you how to drive their way, right? Then after you get hired, you go out on the road and they give you what is called a nursery route, which a nursery route would be under maybe 100 stops. Then after all of that, that's when I don't even have the advisory up, but that's when the F stuff begins. And these next episodic episodes, I'm going to make sure I have the advisory warning up, because the bombs are going to fly. So, you know what I'm saying? It is, I'm telling y'all, before you even want to start working for Amazon DSP, you might want to watch some of these episodes, or if you're working there, chime in and saying, if I'm not telling the truth, because I'm just going to state my experiences working with this DSP out of Waldorf, Maryland. And it was hot. And I would never do it again. I would never, ever go back to Amazon. I've been gone from Amazon for a couple of months, and my back still hurts. You know what I'm saying? My back still hurts. And there should be a class action lawsuit on some of the stuff, man, that they're doing to these employees, man.
I know it's a lot. Man, because every time I asked you when you came from work, man, you was always hurting.
Always. Always.
So yeah. Amazon that's just straight up brutal.
Yeah.
Yeah, boy, yeah. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. It's like modern day slavery working for Amazon. I'm not even trying to be funny about that. But the tales that I have to tell, so y'all can just be prepared for them. So y'all don't have to say, why is he talking about me? I'm just going to tell you who I'm going to be talking about. I'm going to be talking about Ronald. That's one of the guys that made my decision very easy. I'm going to be talking about Jess with her combinations of her, just a trifling thing that she did to me is what I'm going to be talking about. I'm going to be talking about Darius. The ones that the guy that drives the Mercedes Benz or the BMW, whatever that car that he drives, and he live with his mama or his auntie or whatever. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to be talking about the employee of the week, the dude with the beard that don't drive, that's always bumming rides. You know what I'm saying? You've worked at Amazon for how long? You don't even have a skateboard to get to work. Come on, man. What you doing with your money, bro?
It's funny, skateboard.
Yeah, you can get, and you know what? Matter of fact, there is a dude that used to come to work with a skateboard. You know what I'm saying? With a skateboard, not even an e-board, a regular push your foot out and kick skateboard. He came there with a skateboard. And this employee of the month with the beard, he don't even have a skateboard. We're going to be talking about pants. You know, the one I said that wears belt buckle all the way up to his chest hair, titty nipples. That being just this cat, man. He's a trainer. And also Philip, this guy. He's also a trainer. And I heard that Philip got mad because, man, he's talking about me. Why is he talking about me? Let me say this loud and clear to all of y'all that's working at this DSP that I will be talking about. I get off. Well, let me start. I don't need to be to work until 9:30. I get off at 6, and it takes me about an hour to get home. About 7. Or it take me an hour to get the ward off. So, with that being said, if you get offended by what I said, just remember, I don't have to be to work until 9:30. I get off at 6 every day on the dot, 6 o'clock. And I can be in Waldorf within an hour. You know, I got to go through traffic. I'll be in there an hour. So if you got anything you want to get off your chest personally and you want to meet face to face, those are the things that you need to keep in mind. And, you know, there are people that still work at that DSP that have my number. You know what I'm saying? So you can give me a call too. And I will not be deleting any of the comments that come in off these episodes because we don't do that here at the Gamer Show. You have freedom of speech. You can call me whatever you want to say, and I'm just going to say thanks for the comment and give it a thumbs up. I will never take the comment down. Trust and believe that. So, yeah, Mike, we're going to have some fun with this. And mind you, this is all on Fred Y. Mike C ain't got nothing
Mike didn't work for
with
Amazon, so I really can't speak on that. So
yeah. So
yeah.
it's
I'm
all
just gonna
Fred
be shocked
Y.
with the stories I hear.
Yeah.
I already just know it's gonna be some crazy stuff. So yep.
Oh yeah. And again, I never had a problem with Tiffany, the owner. I never had a problem with Walter, and I never had a problem with Nicole. Nicole and Walter, when they have these stand-up morning meetings, they talk to you like adults. Okay, it
should be.
Walter, he puts a little comedic energy into it, but he still talks to you like an adult. The rest of these jokers, Ronald, Candace, and Candace too. Candace and Jess. Ronald, Candace, and Jess. They talk to you like you don't like. Let me just end it with this. I've never saw a work uniform that was ass whooping proof or that deflected curse outs. So keep that in mind. And there are other jobs out here, although they're hard to come by, but your title don't give you title. And if you get fired or you quit, then what does your title have against me? Because your title don't mean nothing at that point. And let me just end this with this. This is why you don't mess with quiet people. Did I tell you about that? My very first assault, Mike? What happened with my very first assault?
No.
Okay. So listen carefully, and this is why y'all don't mess with people, right? This is why you don't mess with quiet people. I forgot how old I was, but I was working at McDonald's and Pizza Hut on Central Avenue. And this is the McDonald's, the oldest standing McDonald's on Central Avenue by Bright Sea Road, you know, that intersection. And the Pizza Hut was actually across the street. It's a Panda Express now. So I was going through high school. I was in high school and I was working both jobs, as I say. And, you know, I was the only grill person there. You know, this young cat, I'm on the grill, I'm the man, and all this other stuff. And I'm fixing the food. You know what I'm saying? I'm the only grill person back there. And this was a time where the cashiers up front had to wrap their own food, right? So, for instance, they would do something like, say, they'll call for cheeseburgers and hamburgers, and you would put 12 up there. But how they would call it, they would say 12 rigs, right? Which means fix me 12 regular hamburgers. And then the grill person would yell back, how many with cheese? So you would subtract that from how many hamburgers from the cheese that you was put up there. So if they say 5 with cheese, you put 5 pieces of cheese on each hamburger, and then you put it up on top of the warmer. And they had this big warmer where, you know, all the burgers stayed at. You know, you would wrap your burger, put it in the warmer, but people would call up burgers if they needed 2 cheeseburgers. They would call up 12 burgers. You know what I'm saying? And all this food will pack up at the on top of the warmer. So this so happens Janet Jackson was at the Capitol Center, right? After the concert was over, everybody started coming back to McDonald's to get something to eat. And man, this manager was on me all the time. I don't know why he didn't like me, but it was some reason why he didn't like me. So this guy was like, just real frustrated. And they keep calling up this food, right? And nobody's wrapping anything. They're only taking like 1 hamburger, 1 Big Mac, 1 quarter, 2. They weren't wrapping the food like they supposed to. So I'm seeing all this food piled up, and I'm telling these cats, look, please wrap this food before it falls. Long story short, somebody called up another order. I pushed the tray up, and all the food fell on the ground. So the manager that was working the drive-through, he came out when I came out from behind the grill and I came to the front, and I'm like getting on these cashiers because they're not wrapping the food. He comes up beside me and say, Freddie, you're gonna get this food up. Why would you do this and all this other stuff? And by that time, I was fed up. So mind you, this is the time where you could get fired or quit a job and find another job that next following week. And like I said, I already was working at Pizza Hut. So this is why you don't mess with a quiet person. I was tired of this. I was frustrated because not only was I didn't like people talking to me like that, but he did this in front of people that was going to Lago. Now I got to go back to school with this guy yelling at me like that, and I ain't do nothing. I didn't do nothing to this cat. So I went downstairs in the basement, got my coat, came back upstairs, and I said I was going to do something to this dude. I didn't know what I was going to do, but I was going to do something to this dude. Because, you know, these people in Lago saw me, Lago High School, and it wouldn't be nothing for word to get back Monday morning that Fred did this and Fred did that, and Fred got talked to and all. So I'm walking past the fryer, and I'm walking past him, and he's still mouthing off. He has his hand on this little metal shelf that's right beside one of the fryers. So you know what I did to him, Mike?
That sounds bad. What'd you do to him?
I took his arm and I dipped his hand in that fryer.
No, you didn't, Fred. God, dirty, bro.
So by the time I walked home, because I lived in Forest Park Estates, so it was like maybe a 45-minute walk. Yeah, the police was there, and you know what I'm saying. So that was my very first assault charge.
God, dirty, bro.
And I was a young cat then. You know what I'm saying. So what I'm telling y'all at these Amazon DSPs and these warehouses, respect these people because you don't know what happened to them the night before or that morning. So talk to these cats like they're adults and not like they look like one of your kids you brought to work, because things can happen. Things can happen. and it's going to be you're going to talk to the wrong guy sassy like that, or the wrong female. Or do we know about females that when the job that you and I work together with?
Oh yeah,
yeah,
oh yeah.
yeah. So things happen, and you know what I'm saying. MikeC and Fred White seen it firsthand. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Duck, Mike. Duck. You better
move out the way.
You better duck that day. But yeah, things that happen. So DSP, Amazon DSP Secrets Unleashed. Boy, we're going to have some fun. And we're going to talk about Candace. We're going to talk about Jess. We're going to talk about Philip. We're going to talk about Pants. We're going to talk about Martin, the Dispatch Martin. Man, we're going to have some fun with these, man. Oh, and then the employee of the month. I forget what his name is, but the guy with the beard that don't drive, that's been working for Amazon for over a year and still don't have even a skateboard. Bruh, you can get a pair of roller skates. $20. Please. Yeah, let's start a GoFundMe for the employee of the month, so we can get him a skateboard or something to get back and forth to work, so he don't have to stop. So he can stop bumming rides from people. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I'll buy him a skateboard and go up there personally and give it to him. You know what I'm saying? So let's start a GoFundMe for the employee of the month, DSP employee of the month. I think his name is. Sure. I think it started with a J. I'm not sure, but I will find out though. But yeah, that's about it, Mike.
All right, friend. So, like always, you guys can hit us up at thagamersshow@gmail.com. That's Gamershow Internet. Don't forget to head on the Facebook store page. Don't forget to hit that bell when we drop videos like these. Tell people about what we do here at the Gamer Show and spread that word.
Yeah, y'all do realize we're on TikTok, so please go over there and give us a follow, and we'll see you next time on WWTF.
We want the facts.
The Gamer Show.
We'll see you next time. Keep watching as always. Thanks for tuning in. Later, y'all.
Later.